Alrighty, everybody, we are live and in living color tonight with a brand new series. Well, it's not a brand new series, but it's a new to us type series. This is Crooked Line Racing, 5 King Motorsports, 5 Kings Network, bringing you all the action for season number 4. It is underway here now. Very, very excited about this race tonight. For it being the season opener, we're bringing a little something special this week. It's the Team 151 presents Iowa opener. $30 tonight to tonight's race winner. And then we got to give some love to the safe drivers as well. $10 to the driver who finishes with the least incident points. But they got to be the highest on the finishing order. So whoever finishes the best with the least amount of incident points, they're going to be $10 richer. Whoever wins tonight's race is going to be not only ahead in the points battle, trying to win that free game or two from thebuttkicker.com, but is also going to be $30 richer with a little bit extra coin in their pocket. These drivers right now, they're going out. They're on qualifying right now. They're set on kill. They're ready to get out there and get going. And I know myself, I'm ready to get out there and get going. Let me tidy up a few things on my end, and then we'll be ready to speak with some of these drivers. Give me just a moment, please. As you see here tonight at Iowa, the sun is still out. We're getting close to the sunset, but we're not all the way there yet. As we pull up the sideboard over here and try to see who's qualified on the pole. As it stands right now, we got Mr. Thomas Axum sitting P1 on the board. Is that driver going to be able to hold it up there? Will he be knocked off the perch? We got Dalton Kilroy currently showing us P2. Jason Raymond P3 with a league newcomer, Derek Paulson P4. And Willie Evernham, that's Ray Evernham's nephew, sitting P5 in that number 19 Tour Modified. Now we're going to pull up the pole sitter for right now as it stands. I think he is done with his 2 laps. Just to make sure, Mr. Thomas Axum, have you completed your 2 laps?
Yes, sir.
So Thomas, you were the champion last season, and at the very end of the very first race, you said you were here for dubs. Very next week, you had another good running. We talked to you again. You said you're here for points. You got you a free butt kicker game or two. What's your outlook now coming into season number 4 here tonight at Iowa?
Season 4, my second season with the Tuesday night modifieds. Just gonna try and double down and try and defend the title. Got a good opener with a little payday for the first race. So got extra cars out here, trying to chase that money and long race, one set of tires. Just gotta be able to save it and be there at the end.
So you mentioned tires right then, Thomas. How do you think tires are going to play off? So you start the race with one set, and you got a set in the pits. How do you think that's going to play out here tonight? Is it going to be a conserve type game, or how are you thinking?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be absolutely saving till about lap 100, and then we're gonna start thinking about putting tires on. I know I'm gonna be pitting very early and staying in the back and just putting fuel in at every caution, and gonna do the math and make sure I can make my final stop with fuel, and then just play the one stop tire game, and change tires and get back up front.
Right on. That's Thomas Axon. Usually the driver number 13. New season. Got numbers mixed up. He's driving number 17 tonight. 13 on the side of his car, like how it should be. Last year's champion, last season's champion, I will say. Congratulations to the pole. Congratulations on the champion, Thomas. And you're looking good for season 4, buddy. We'll be up here calling action. Maybe talking to you at the end of this thing.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir, buddy. Like I said, that's Mr. Axum right there. Put it on the pole, looking pretty on the pole. That's Thomas Axum. And now we got Mr. P2, Dalton Kilroy. He should have been nicknamed All I Do Is Win because that's all he's done here lately. Dalton, this is Tanner Martin, the booth. You got a copy.
Yes, sir.
So good to see you actually got your correct number. So Thomas lost his number this time, it being a new season. So last season was your first season with Crooked. I'm not even sure if you ran a full season or not. Did you, Dalton?
I think I missed a couple races. I forget which ones, but I think I missed a couple.
So I mean, you're a very competitive driver, no matter what series you're in, no matter what car it's in. What's your outlook with this being a season opener here tonight? What's your outlook on this season? How you going to try to progress to the championship by starting here tonight at Iowa?
Well, I just want a good run. I know last season, I had a couple good runs, but I also had a couple races where I was still kind of getting used to the car and wasn't used to how you got to drive it, and because of that, I put myself in bad spots and got damaged or got wrecked out or something like that. So I had like 3 or 4 bad races right from the get go, and then it was just playing catch up, or at least attempting to, for the rest of the season. So I just want to keep it clean, keep it, I mean, P2 right now. I'd say just keep it in the top 10 and try to just keep that up all season. Get some top fives here or there, maybe compete for some wins, and yeah, just stay in contention as long as I possibly can.
Right on, brother. With this being a little bit bigger field than what we're accustomed to with these tour mods on these short tracks. Now, this is a little bit bigger track, but with the bigger field, do you expect tires to kind of play into tonight's race, or do you think it's going to be kind of like a start and stop type race with cautions with the field being as big as it is?
Well, it's a pretty big track, so or at least compared to what we've been racing on. So I would say this will be a pretty, I'd say, relatively clean race. Still, there's going to be a couple new guys in here that haven't raced with us before. So there's always going to be that little learning curve of learning how to race people, who to race, who not to race, yada yada yada. Um, but with this track being so wide and it's, there's a couple grooves you can run. I can definitely see it going and having a long green flag run, whether it's right here off the start till the competition caution at lap 50, or just at some point throughout the race.
Like 10-4. That's Dalton Kilrow. Brought it home a few spots short of the championship last season, but was still a great season nonetheless when, like he said, he missed a few races. He's here this season, season number 4, for the very first race. He's going to be here every Tuesday night that he can make it. He might be a championship contender. Dalton will be calling the action, maybe talking to you at the end. Good luck to you, buddy.
Thank you, man.
All right, and then there was just one. He qualified P3 on the board. He fell one spot short of the championship last season. I've heard this kid talk about how he dreaded this race tonight, was not a fan, did not know how I was going to be in the tour mods, all that talk, and he put it P3 on the qualifying board. Mr. Jason Raymond, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
So I'm basically going to ask you, Raymond, the same question that I just asked Kilrow and Axum. So, this is a little bit bigger track here tonight. 151 laps. How do you think tires are going to play into a race like this tonight? And how do you approach a race like this tonight when it comes to managing the tires? Only one extra set in the pits.
To be honest, I never put in a long enough practice run to see what car was gonna feel like and what tires were gonna do. But I know it's a bigger track. I'm hoping it's not gonna be too messy. But if we get a long green flag run, I feel like they will play in. Then there's the evening out that we've seen in last season. But I'm not sure. I'm gonna guess they're gonna be a factor just because of how big of the track is, and I was sliding. I was sliding the right rear tire all practice. I could feel it, so it's definitely something to watch.
Right on. Well, you can relay to race control, Jason, that we are done up here in the booth. They can advance the session whenever they need it. Jason, we'll be calling the action up here. You finish one spot short on the championship. You can start out the championship's hopes here tonight. Nice and good if you put it P1 on the end of the board at the end of the Team 151 Iowa opener. 151 laps, $30 on the line. $10 on the line for whoever finishes the best with the least amount of incident points here tonight, Jason. Good luck to you, buddy, and we'll be calling the action, maybe talking to you at the end, buddy.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, there we have it, folks. That's our top 3 qualifiers of the night, how it stands right now. Thomas Axum brought it out P1. Dalton Kilrow went P2. Jason Raymond went P3. We're going to patiently await our race control admins to get this show on the road here tonight. And while we wait, I want to thank the sponsors of this series. We've already mentioned Team 151. For the ones that don't know, Joshua Sexton, he races in real life. He races with his dad. His dad is basically his crew chief, car owner. He does a lot of stuff to make the racing and make the races happen for Josh in the asphalt sprint car side of racing. And Team 151 is who they race for. SNS Racing is a kind of a spin-off of that. But Team 151 Racing, that is basically owned by Joshua and Steve Sexton. So any and all attention they can get on their Facebook is greatly appreciated. They have sponsors that are supporting them as well. So any follow they get, any like they get, it goes a long way in sponsorship's eyes. So that's Team 151 on Facebook. And then I'd be remiss if I didn't mention MF Racing Designs. So these tour mods, they don't have a lot of places where you can do some extravagant stuff, we'll say, in as far as paint schemes. But you'll still see, even with little body panels here tonight, there's still some mighty fine paint schemes. And a lot of these paint schemes you're going to see out here tonight is put together by the one and only Michael Falk. He don't race very often. He joined us here tonight. He's driving the number 16 Tour Modified tonight. That's Michael Falk over at MF Racing Designs. If you need a paint scheme done on any car, not just Tour Mod, but any car, asphalt, dirt, road, rallycross, super trucks, whatever you need, MF Racing Designs is your one-stop shop for all your paint scheme needs. And then last but not least, got to thank our buddy Bam Racing Videos. If you like sim racing, I say it all the time, we have you covered over here on Five Kings Motorsports, Five Kings Network. But if you like real life, grassroots, short track racing, then you need to look up BAM Racing Videos. That's BAM space racing space videos on YouTube. He's closing in on about 5,000 subscribers, I do believe. He has a few videos. He has one video that I know has like 270,000 views on it. That's insane. That's BAM Racing Videos. Any and all type of subscribers over there that we can give him, he greatly appreciates it. And while we're speaking about YouTube right now, slap a like down below on the thumbs up button if you're ready to get the Team 151 Iowa opener underway. $30 on the line to tonight's winner. $10 on the line to tonight's cleanest driver. These drivers, they better grab that wheel. They better pull them belts tight. But fans at home, I like to call y'all the fans out in viewers land. You better do it as well, because we're in for a treat here tonight. Iowa Motor Speedway produces many multi-groove, multi-lane racing. Meaning, yes, there might be some single file type racing earlier on in the race. But once these runs start to happen, the tires start to wear, you will see drivers elect to run some different lines on the track. And that's when the racing really starts. These drivers can go about 70 to 80 laps on fuel, depending on how they use their throttle. And now, speaking of throttle, you're not off throttle a whole lot here tonight. So Iowa and the tour mods is almost like, we'll say, Michigan is to a cup car. Meaning there's going to be a lot of draft at play. I don't think we'll ever really see the leader check out on the field here tonight, because the draft is going to be so strong, it just will not allow him to do so. So that's something to really watch as well. Want to mention that if you are into short track racing, look us up on Facebook, Crooked Line Racing. We have a Monday night super late model series, custom fixed sets, just like this Tuesday night Tour Modified series. And then starting this Saturday night, live on the Five Kings Network, we're going to be bringing you the Super Truck Series. It's going to be the Craftsman Truck Series, or what's better known nowadays as the Gander Outdoor Trucks. Going to be mainly on short tracks. Now, we will have our Daytonas and Talladegas sprinkled in there, but we're sticking to our roots, baby. We're grassroots as they come over here in Crooked Line Racing, Five King Motorsports. We're getting ready to go to the grid, but Saturday nights, truck series, short tracks. It gets no better underneath the lights on Saturday night. So if you need a series like that, be sure to shoot us a message on Facebook. But now, without any further ado, it's time to go to the race grid for the Team 151 Iowa opener. As you see right there, we got Thomas Axum. He put it on the board with a P number 1 with a 23002. Starting outside, road number 1 is going to be Dalton Kilroe, representing the entire banner of Five Kings Motorsports. Then we got P3, another Five King Motorsports driver, Jason Raymond. And then starting on the outside of row number 2, you got MFRD's own, another Five Kings Motorsports driver, Derek Paulson. Willie Evernham, Ray Evernham's nephew, another Five Kings driver, starting P5. And then to break up the old Five Kings group, we got Mr. Alex Coffey driving the number 7, starting P6. Aiden Young is out there in a beautiful new number 69 machine. He's going to be rolling off P7. Tyler Catalano, a member of the famous Catalano Modified Series Racing family, he'll be rolling off P8. Joshua Sexton will be P9. Jason Stewart, another new face of the Crooked Line banner, he'll be rolling off P10. Ken Zeems will be rolling off P11. Ray Fatarusso, P12. And as we work our way down the grid, if it'll let me, come on, don't do this. There we go. You got James Barrett Jr. starting P13. Zach Murphy, he finished second in the points 2 seasons ago. Missed it on the qualifying a little bit, starting P14. Garland Bennett's P15. Ed Brown's P16. Frank Barbary and Dustin Hicks, that's 17 and 18. Michael Fox, P19. And Matt Yatson, P20. Keith Mack, 21st. Scott Ross, 22nd. And then the rest are not out there on track. So let's get out here, folks, as they're turning these laps. Get ready for some green flag action here tonight for the Team 151 Iowa season opener. As this first initial start of the race, it's going to be on green. After that, it's in the hands of the drivers. Whoever's leading this race is going to be able to call the shots. But on this first one, Barney Fife Jr. is going to be waving that flag up top, the flag stand. He'll be the starter of this race. And with lane choice here tonight, folks, we haven't mentioned it yet. Lane choice is available to these drivers on all restarts. Will that come into play? Will that leader elect to take the bottom side? We're going to find out as they make one more lap around this track. Just looking through this field right here, we got a great looking field of cars out here. 24 drivers suited up to come out for the Crooked Line Racing season opener. I'm excited, folks. As I'm trying to pull up the comments right now, let me know at home, folks, if you're watching. As the green flag is getting ready to be underway, Season 4 is right here, right now. No more living in the future. We're in the present now. Season 4 is underway. Green flag is out on the speedway. Green, green, green. Let's see how these drivers go. Who's going to have the advantage going into turn 1? Advantage all Thomas Axum, and then Jason Raymond's trying to pick up and get him a spot. It looks like Kilroy may have gotten to the wall right then, lost no momentum, but they are racing side by side behind him. That 44 is trying to reclaim that third spot. Got the 12 of Derek Paulson, a new face into the Crooked Line Series, trying to put his name in the hat for P3. And then I see Alex Coffey. He is bringing it up higher up there. He's going to try to get as much momentum as he can. If you run the high side like that, yes, it is a longer way around the track. But you can have so much momentum on corner exit. As I need to do something real quick, folks. When we go from racing to broadcasting, this kind of stuff, it's hard to get perfect. Let's see if we can get it where it's not too loud. Much better. As you see, they're still side by side right there behind Coffey. You got Mr. Willie Evernham trying to work over Aiden Young. These drivers are fighting for P6 and P5 with Coffey right there in front of him. They can't sort it out. But you see right there, folks, No lane really has an advantage here tonight. Some drivers, they're going to feel more comfortable on the bottom. Other drivers will feel more comfortable on top. As you see, Aiden Young's 69 machine right there has pink on it for the month of October breast cancer awareness right there. Then we got the 51 of Joshua Sexton, qualified 9th, worked his way up to 8th right now. He's got them eyes looking forward, trying to gain any spot he can. As we go back up front, though, we talked to Thomas Axum. He said he was just going to ride and conserve. Is that what that driver's doing right now? He's falling back to P2, about to lose it to P3 and P4. Derek Paulson brought Jason Raymond, a teammate with him, past that 13. That 13 is going backwards. As now Alex Coffey has put that 13 another lap down, or another spot down, excuse me. He'll never go laps down. It'd be a terrible race for Mr. Axel if he ever went laps down. Aiden Young is looking to make a pass on him. So, yeah, we heard Thomas say he just wanted to come out here and ride around for the first 100 or so laps. And that is exactly what that driver is doing right now, just taking it easy. As now he has Ray Fataruso trying to look underneath him. At some point, though, Thomas is going to get tired of losing all the track position. He will start fighting back. We're racers. We don't like seeing all these cars pass us. But he gets the spot right then. The Ray Fataruso comes down low, and it looks like he's going to get in where he fits in now. Little crossover move, trying to look underneath Ray. Maybe force a mistake out of Ray Fataruso. As we're already 9 laps in, 10 laps in this time by. And it's all Dalton Kilrow out front, with Derek Paulson following in his tracks and Jason Raymond right there in P3. Kelly Coffey says she's watching. Joe from OSR said I turned down the cars. I know, Joe. I don't like them when they're too loud, but let me know right now what it sounds like on your end. Is it too quiet? I don't like to have but very little car sounds coming through. Was looking at my OBS and it was kind of spiking a little bit higher than what I normally like to see. I miss having you up in the booth too, Joe. Normally you get to handle all this stuff for me. Kelly, nice to see you out in the chat. Who else do we got watching out here? I'm excited here tonight for Season 4. $30 on the line, plus $10 to the safest driver. Man, somebody's going to get them a little bit coin at the end of the night. As it's still Dalton Kilrow out front. Derek Paulson, P2. Jason Raymond, P3. Alex Coffey started 5th. He's up to P4 with Ray Fataruso. He is on the move right now, folks. He started 12th. He's worked his way up to 5th. He's going to try to get by Aiden Young and clear that driver right now. Not able to actually get all the way there. Now he's going to try to work on that number 7 machine now that 69, that battle has been concluded. And the 69 still not giving up yet. Aiden Young giving that driver all he can handle right now. As we start to go a little bit further back in the pack, Zach Murphy, he is also another driver. He started P14. He is up to P7. He has gained 7 spots. He's worked his way up to 7th right now. That is season number 1. He finished 2nd in the points after leading the points for the entire season. He's worked his way up to P7. Thomas Axum, like I said earlier, we talked to him. He said he put it on the pole. He was happy about qualifying with the fastest time. But he didn't want to be there for the race. He wanted to take it slow, let the rest of the guys kind of burn their equipment up. And he knew it's not important to lead lap 16. It's important to lead lap 151. And that's what Thomas is thinking right now. He's trying to think big picture. He's got Willie Evernham all on him right now. Willie's going to try to look low going into 3 and 4. As we keep going further on back, Mr. Ken Zeems. He just started him a new setup shop this season, him and his son Kenny. That's Ken Zeems. He's worked his way up to P10. with a hard charging Joshua Sexton sitting right there behind him, running P11 in that BAM Racing Videos machine. And then we have Garland Bennett, a face we haven't seen in a while. Driver of number 30, Tormod. Gets it to the wall right then a little bit. Jason Stewart almost had a bad time right then. Luckily for that 30 machine, it didn't suction cup him to the wall like me and Joe talked about so many times before last season. He got lucky that he kind of hit that wall and just kind of bounced off of it more than... I mean, normally we see them, they hit them, they try to climb that wall. And didn't have none of that right then. Then we got Jason Stewart sitting P3 right, or P13 right now, minus 3 spots from where he gridded. James Barrett Jr. in a beautiful number 68 machine. He's sitting P14. Ed Brown, that number 13 machine here tonight. He is sitting P15. And then Michael Falk, the one, the only MF Racing Designs own here, right here tonight. Michael Falk finally got him out on the racetrack. He never ever races. I bet he's done maybe 5 races his entire iRacing career. Got him out here doing battle with some of the best tour modified drivers there is. And he's holding his own, currently sitting P16. As we see, Frank Barb has actually gotten to the wall a little bit back there. But yeah, so Michael Fox's car. He is really big into Sasquatch and Bigfoot. He loves studying about that, listening to podcasts, I know. And so he has a very, very, very unique, one-of-a-kind type car right there in that 81 machine. And then we talked about him a while ago, Frank Barb, sitting 17th right now. Got into the wall a little bit right then, but has rebounded and recovered really good. He's got a swerving Brian Kramer right there behind him in the 89. That car was going left and right like it was on ice, but he's finally got that machine under control. Then we got Scott Ross, John Curtis. They're trying to do battle right now, trying to see who's going to take P19 away from who. Right now, advantage to John Curtis, but Scott Ross is not going to give it up as they're going inside to turn number 1. And then Matt Yassin is sitting 21st. Brendan Bones sitting 22nd. Now, for the guys at home that see that last name and think, hey, that name looks familiar. There's a reason that name looks familiar. His brother, Danny Bone, actually drives in the Craftsman Truck Series. Or what they call now the Gander Outdoor Series. You can tell I'm kind of old school. Then we got Keith Mack and that number 55 looking pretty as ever. Butt kicker machine. 5 Kings Network on the side representing for the home team. That's Keith Mack, number 55 and 23rd. And then another fellow 5 Kings Motorsports driver sitting 24th. That's Scotty Stevens with Dustin Hicks. He has actually parked his machine. But folks, we have so many drivers. It took us so long to go through the field right then. But ain't nothing changed but the laps on the clicker. Because we're on lap 26 now, and Dalton Kilroy is still out front, pulling a Derek Paulson around Iowa with Ray Fatarusso. Ray Fatarusso is on the move, folks. Watch this 33 machine. He is shaking and moving right now. He is currently up 9 spots from where he gridded. Joe said if I get tired, he could have done the race alone. Joe, I'll be honest. I really wanted to race. I still want to race. I've been wanting to race this series now for 4 seasons. I've never been in a chance to actually race. Was going to race this season. I didn't know if you wanted to broadcast by yourself. So I didn't think you wanted to. I myself don't like broadcasting by myself. I like when I can bounce off somebody up here. And I figured give you a break on Tuesday nights, I would take over. But yeah, if you ever want to call it by yourself, I would gladly be out there on track. As you see right now, I'm telling you folks, Ray Fatarusso, watch that 33 machine because he is on the move. Up 9 spots, trying to make that 10 right now as he's got Derek Paulson's mirror full of that number 33 black and red machine. As I want to go on board with these drivers right here. Let's go on board. Ooh, never mind. Caution's out on the speedway. And it's looking like our boy Jason Raymond may have been the cause for this caution as we check the telltale box here. Let's see what happened to this driver. So you see Zach Murphy. Ooh, Zach Murphy just kind of gets in there a little bit hot. Luckily for him, no race control anymore. It's just, I mean, these drivers, we're going to tell them like NASCAR told them back a while back. Boys, have at it. Now, if it gets too rowdy, we may have to intervene, but the boys will police themselves is the way we're looking at it right now. And Jason Raymond, he's not going to be happy with Zach Murphy. But Zach Murphy, I mean, we'll go back and watch it one more time, folks. See what really transpired here from a different camera angle. I mean, Zach just got in there a little hot. Washed up the track, got into him, and now, as we exit that, we got a busy pit road. As we're going to start seeing drivers elect to come in and take some Sunoco racing fuel for their machine. They're going to come in and try to top their machine off with some racing fuel. Like I said, folks, they could go roughly about 75 to 85 laps, give or take a few, just depending on driving style. But why risk it? And that's what we're seeing right now. You're not going to see any driver take 4 tires right here unless they make a mistake. It's just going to be Sunoco racing fuel. And man, oh man, what a tough break for Jason Raymond. But luckily for him, it's early in the race. There's still a lot of racing left to be. But while we got the break into action, folks, I think it's time for the MF Racing Designs Best Paint Scheme of the Night. Let me know in the chat, folks. Who do you think has the best looking car tonight? There's a lot of new paint schemes out here. So for the ones that don't know, I am what people call, like, I am a paint scheme fanatic. So when somebody makes a new paint scheme, Aiden Young, he sends me his paint scheme every time he makes a new one. Jason Raymond does the same thing. Coffee, the same. There's a lot of drivers out here. As soon as they make a new paint scheme, they send it to me because I want to see them. And I tell them this. I want to see your paint schemes. And because I love paint schemes. I have over $1,000 worth of NASCAR diecast just because I love all the different paint schemes. So basically, I'm saying it's hard for me to give an award out like this. So help me in the chat. Who do y'all think deserves the best paint scheme of the night? As we go through the field a little bit here, we're going to go through fast because there is a bunch of them. But if something catches your eye, you just let me know in the chat with the number, and we will go back to it. Man, I'm really liking that Ken Ziem's number 90 machine right there. As we keep circling through, I really like Zach Murphy's. That's been his go-to for a few seasons now. And I think we're getting ready to go back. Green flag racing, maybe 2 to go here. But as we just do a quick little look and see. All right, I got it, folks. I got it. I think it's only fitting. He never gets to come out and race. This is the one time he's actually got to come out and race with us in a long time. That's MF Racing Design's very own Michael Falk with the MF Racing Designs Best Paint Scheme of the Night in this very, very, very weird looking machine. And he has actually made a mistake on pit road, cannot get into his box correctly. Man, that's never what you want to see. But yes, MF Racing Design's very own just won the Best Paint Scheme of the Night in that 81, Michael Falk. And you can drive something like this if you would like. It can be something wild and elaborate, or it can be something mean and aggressive. Or it can be something flamboyant and colorful. It don't matter. Michael Falk can hook you up with anything you want. Another paint scheme Michael done is this 44 right here. The thing I like about this 44, it's the little details that I like the most. So like when you look at that, it looks like it's just a black front end. But when we get a little bit closer, there's little orange splots that are speckles on throughout the black. And it just makes it pop a little bit to me. And so I really like that aspect of it. But man, there's a lot of good paint schemes in here. It's hard for me to give an award out for this because I always feel like, man, I gave it to this guy. I should have gave it to that guy. You know, so it's tough for me. Let's see what y'all got. Kelly Coffee. I should have known. I can't ask you. You're just as biased as I am in the booth, Kelly. You always put that number 7, but I have to agree. As we're going to put that number 7 on the screen right here, that Red Bull machine. Kelly, if I'm not mistaken, this is something different than what Coffee has been running. as we're going to check and see lights are off on the pace car, pace truck, Chevy Silverado here tonight for the Team 151 Iowa opener. As Dalton, I told you folks, lane choice was going to come into play, and it did right then. Dalton took the high side, but it don't look like it's going to pay off for that driver. Derek is going to have the advantage going into turn 1, and Derek has muscled the lead away from that 41 machine. He's got Ray Fataruso and Aiden Young all over his back bumper right now, so Dalton could have just went from hero to zero really fast by taking that high side. That'll be something these drivers note as the race gets a little bit later on. They might think, hey, I saw Dalton. He didn't get the best jump he possibly could on the outside. I think I'm going to stick with the inside. As we start to cycle on back through, we saw Thomas Axum. He fell all the way back to 9th. He has worked his way back up already to 5th. I promise you, that 13 and that 33 of Ray Fataruso, that 41 and that 12, basically any of these drivers out here, but those 4 I just mentioned, when it's time to go, they are going to put the pedal to the metal. Joe can attest to this. There will be fireworks at some point during this race. Not only is the pride aspect on winning the season opener a special event race, but like we mentioned before, thanks to the good folks over at Team 151, there's a little bit of cheese on the line here tonight. $30 to the winner, $10 to the cleanest finisher of the night. As we're seeing Thomas try to work over Coffee right there. And Coffee, he's going to have the momentum on the high side, but I don't think he's going to battle Axum really hard right here. He kind of just let him go. It's not, with it being just, we're coming to lap 39, almost lap 40, we're still really, really young in this race. I mean, there's still a lot of racing left to be had here. With about a 23-second lap, over 100 laps remaining, I think Coffee's thinking here, we'll button up. We're going to sit here and chill. We might be here for a while. And Coffee did the right thing in my book, letting Axum kind of get by and see if he can kind of work on the drivers in front of him a little bit. And maybe Coffee in that 7 machine, that Red Bull-powered machine, can follow him. As Aiden Young, ooh, I thought Aiden was going to get turned right then. Luckily, Axum got on the binders a little bit for him right then, took care of that driver. As we go back to Ken Zeems, this little battling that the 13, the 69, and the 7 are doing, that's allowed the 90 of Ken Zeems to suck right up to him. Remember, folks, I talked about the draft earlier. The draft will play a huge part into tonight's race. It will keep a lot of these drivers, me and Joe used to call them clusters. The clusters will be even closer here tonight because the draft is going to keep all these drivers in check. All these drivers right on top of each other. And when you see races at Talladega or Daytona, typically when they have a wreck, they call it the big one. And that's because all them cars are on top of each other. All it takes is one driver to make one small mistake to end up messing up 15 plus cars. And the same is basically equivalent for here. As we see two drivers right there make slight contact. Luckily, they're able to keep all 4 wheels pointed straight. But when these drivers are on top of each other like this in Iowa, it's fairly wide compared to some of the other tracks we will go to. As we see Fataruso climb the wall, and we're going to have contact. Alex Coffey is getting sent down to the apron. Coffey's for a wild ride. Hold the brakes. He's holding the brakes. Coffey was just an innocent bystander right there. Nothing to do but just hope he didn't get wrecked. And you saw the outcome right then. As we're going to go back and see what happened with the BAM Racing videos replay. So you see up there in front of the 33 climbs the wall. Coffey's going to dip low. And I'm not sure if Fataruso and the 69 of Aiden Young made contact and it made Fataruso shoot down like that. Oh, yes. So the 69 of Aiden Young just gives ever so slightly a bump to the 33 of Fataruso, which that wasn't Aiden Young's fault. He wasn't expecting Fataruso to try to go mountain climbing right then. But as you saw, I mean, it just nowhere for Alex to go. Wrong place at the wrong time. Luckily for him, he does have a fast repair in his pocket. And man, oh man, pit road is busy once again. And you're seeing a few drivers elect to stay out. You're seeing the track position game get played here now, folks. And now this is when it gets interesting right here. You got some of our faster guys who have been running up front all night thus far. They've been cycled back. So your race leader when they went into pits, Derek Paulson, he came out P11 right then, folks. So the ones that have been out front, they got a completely different look out their windshield now. Instead of just seeing clean air, that clean Iowa air, they are seeing very, very convoluted traffic now in front of them. And Kelly Coffey asked a very good question. What if more than one car has a clean race? So Kelly, on iRacing, they have this thing, it's called incident points. Whenever somebody makes slight contact, you might get a 2x. If it's hard contact, like kind of like what we saw with Alex Coffey right then and Fata Russo, I would say more than likely that was a 4x. So whoever has the least amount of incident points determined by iRacing and whoever finishes the best on the grid, like the race results, that's who will determine has the cleanest race. Now, that system can be kind of flawed, like we've seen right then. I've seen times where it would take Alex Coffey right then, that wreck we just saw, Kelly. That could have actually been a 0x. Sometimes you just never know. You just never know exactly. But, Kelly, the good news is with that wreck we just saw, as we're going to come back here and see Mr. Coffey. Yes, he lost a lot of valuable track position right then. But he has a... I'm pretty sure he used a fast spur right then. It's hard to tell really on these cars. So, me and Joe tried to tell last season. And it was tough. It's tough to tell with these cars because I don't have a lot of body panels. But it don't look like he has any damage. So that tells me that he probably took a fast repair. So now his car is pristine. It's as good as it ever was. But now he's no longer gambling with house money. Now he's gambling with coffee money. And he's got to be really careful because you only get that one mulligan. And Coffee, very sadly, he has used that one mulligan. I see y'all that are viewing right now in viewerland. Let me see you in the chat. Who you pulling for? Who do you think's going to win tonight's race? Got a little shakeup right now in the field. Got Willie Evernham. He's currently leading this beautiful field of cars around Iowa Speedway. Zach Murphy sitting P2. Brian Kramer sitting P3 with Garland Bennett P4. It's still anybody's race with a lot of laps left to go here at the Iowa Speedway. I love this short track. A lot of people don't classify this as a short track, but I think it is. I think it's a bigger style short track, but it's not like your Oxford Plains or your South Boston's, Five Flags, those type tracks. I know, I'm aware, but it is a short track because the way you have to race these cars around here, you drive it like you would a short track. And here we go. Pace truck is getting ready to make that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. Here we go, folks. Field is in control of Willie Evernham. Willie took the high side, and unlike Dalton, he was able to make it work. And they're going to be 3 wide right there behind him, fighting for second. Looks like Garland Bennett thought better of it and took his nose out of the equation. And man, oh man, did you see the launch Zach Murphy had off the corner right then? Oh, that's going to get tight right there, boys. I thought we were going to see some slight contact between Brian Kramer and company. And man, oh man, you can throw a blanket over like 5th through 14th right now. These drivers are all on top of each other. Exactly, Kelly. Exactly. You never know when a caution's going to be thrown. Coffee got wrecked, no caution. Bogo got wrecked, no caution. I got wrecked, no caution. I was fuming last night after the race. Joe from OSR Network, he's in the chat right now representing. He was calling the race for us. You can click over on his name and watch that race after this race. But yes, I was fuming after having a great run with no caution. But right now, we want no caution. We want these guys to battle it out. We got our fastest guys of the night thus far that has proven their pace. They are currently sitting with P7 right now. That was Derek Paulson. He was the race leader when he went in to take fuel right then. As we're now, just now, over a third of a way done with this race. Zach Murphy is trying to edge out Willie Evernham for the race lead. Those drivers make slight contact coming across the line. Is Zach Murphy going to have the power to be able to muscle it underneath that 19 and clear him up off the corner? Not able to make it stick yet, folks. He's trying, though. He's going to battle. He's going to do it again. When you're on the bottom like that, you basically just got to drive it off in there and hope and pray it sticks. Because if it don't stick, you're going to wash up and hit that driver, which we've already seen Zach Murphy. He overshot it a little bit, got into Jason Raymond earlier. That might be on his mind. That might be playing into this right now. He might be a little cautious with his approach, but he don't look cautious. They're racing hard, side by side, with Garland Bennett getting ready to put his name up in the ring with them. Gets slightly loose right then. And Jason Raymond with the bounce back performance was running third and got spun earlier, and he has worked his way up to P4. As Kelly just said in the chat, I wasn't the only one fuming, and Joe said last night was weird. Last night was very weird. Me and Coffee actually had a talk after the race, and hey, last night was weird. That's just iRacing, though, folks. It has its pros, it has its cons. One pro is that, I mean, we don't know. There could be drivers sitting in their bedroom in their underwear right now, for all we know. But they're still on here. They're racing hard, you know. But a con is it's all technology, and technology is great when it works. But when it don't work correctly, it can be really frustrating. And that's what we saw last night. As we look back up front, Zach Murphy, he was battling with that driver, Willie Evernham, but the battle is no more. That time, Zach Murphy won the battle, but will he win the war? We're going to find out in under about 90 laps or so, give or take a few. As we start to cycle back through the field, I want to give an update on Mr. Alex Coffey. There he is. So Alex, he came out like P19. He's gained about 5 to 6 spots. Currently sitting 14th on the board. That driver is all eyes ahead. Now, we did this earlier, but I want to do it again. Now that Coffey is in traffic, let's go cockpit cam in the number 7, Alex Coffey. See how he's able to manage this traffic right here. You can hear Coffee. You hear that right now. I may have turned it down so low where you can't really hear it, but those drivers are really lifting out a lot right then. He lifted twice right then just to allow Scotty Stevens by. And he did that mainly because he's a smart racer. And basically like what we saw earlier, he let Thomas Axel by earlier. Coffee's just thinking, hey, you can lead right now. You can pass me right now. I'll be passing you later. And that's what we saw. But you see with that steering wheel, he's actually really, really smooth with the steering wheel. Me and Coffee have very similar driving styles. We're both pretty aggressive in the car. So we make kind of sudden movements with the wheel. And a lot of people say that's not good. I don't see nothing wrong with it. We're in control of the car. I mean, Coffee, how many times has he won already this season? Not in this season, but in other super late models and other tour mods. So the driving style obviously works. He's made it work. But I've heard people knock our type of driving style being aggressive. But watch. Mark my words. If that 7 keeps his nose clean, he will be up near the front at some point during this race again. And then I want to go over to somebody that's typically more smoother on the wheel. We're going to check out Derek Paulson right here. He's also in traffic, so this should be a good comparison right here to see how twitchy this driver is in the corner. He's actually moving more than Coffee was. I mean, that shows me that these drivers are having to drive the car. It's not just a glued to the ground type setup, and that's good. That means it's a very racy setup. It's just loose enough, just nimble enough to be able to drive. And that's I mean, that's what you want when you have a fixed setup. Everybody's on the same setup. You want something that everybody can drive. And right now we're lap 65 and haven't heard no complaints thus far, and definitely no complaints out of Zach Murphy or Willie Evernham or Garland Bennett. Our first and third place runners right now, as they're running, Zach Murphy, he started 14th. He's worked his way up to first. And Garland Bennett, he started 15th. He's worked his way up to third. Those drivers right now are one of our biggest movers, with Brandon Bone actually being the biggest mover of the night. Brandon, he started 27th on the grid, and he's worked his way up to P11 right now. So we're starting to see those faster guys that lost the track position. They went in and pitted for racing fuel. They lost the track position when they were running up front. They don't necessarily are not showing us that they have the pace to get back up there in a hurry. Now, remind you, they might be saving their equipment, but I would think 1 out of the 7 to 8 guys that we've seen running up front all night, one of them has a competitive bone in their body and they want to get back up there. I wouldn't think all of them are saving right now. That just shows that the pace here in this series from top to bottom is out of this world. As we see a driver, I'm not sure who that was. It was actually Brandon Bone, our biggest mover thus far. Actually slapped the wall a little bit. No harm, no foul. The car looks to be good cosmetically. He's going to be good to keep going. Man, oh man, we are now on lap 70. Let me hear it, folks. I know Kelly's rooting for that number 7. Who else do we have out here? Who's a fan of who? Who's going to pull who? Oh, we got slight contact behind them. It looks like all the drivers are going to save it. Ooh, Thomas almost went for a wild ride right then off Jason Stewart's front nose. How did those drivers save that? I wish I knew OBS enough to where or the iRacing live scoring and timing SDK to where I could rewind that back. Because, man, oh, man, that was wild right then. As these drivers are all over each other right now, folks, we're going to go to a different camera so we can actually see this battle. Because, man, oh, man, they are 3 wide coming out of turn 4 at Iowa. That's not going to work for long. You can make it work for a second, but you don't want to stay in that predicament very long. And you saw right then the driver that was in the middle, he actually backed out of it, thought better. But man, oh man, there is battles everywhere on the track. As caution is actually out on the speedway, Tattletale Box is... Oh, we may have lost some heavy hitters right then, folks. Tattletale Box is lit up with a lot of drivers. It's telling me Dalton Kilrow. We'll have to go back and see what happens here. We saw these drivers bounce off the wall early. 3 wides is not going to work. Joshua Sexton gets flipping. Alice Coffey, no. And then drivers are just piling in, not holding the brakes, just coming in like crazy. Man, oh man, what a big wreck. Let's go back and we're going to watch it one more time, folks. So just slight contact right there, and there's nowhere for none of these cars to go. Everybody's just going for a wild ride. That 68 came in there hauling the mail. That white and blue car up there came in there hauling the mail. And like we were saying earlier, yes, this is a short track, but the speeds are so fast here that when you do see an incident happening out in front of you, you don't have a whole lot of time to react to get on them brakes. And now, since that transpired, I want to pull up a driver. Going to have a word with them really quick. We're going to pull up Mr. Joshua Sexton because I know he's always good for a mid-race interview. Josh, this is Tanner Moore in the 5 Keys Network booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
So, Josh, I know you're probably trying to pit right now and all that, so I don't want to distract you too much. But what we just saw right then, it looked like you were just the unfortunate person of the wrong place, wrong time, right?
Yeah, wrong place, wrong time. We had a big checkup there, trying to make some positions. It was really good to pass on the outside, so I was in a good spot. So I was just running my line, and I don't know, there some cars on the inside came up and smashed me into the wall. I had to tow. Car wouldn't start, so right now I'm towing. So I'm gonna go a few laps down here.
It's a tough break, Josh, because you were looking like you were saving your equipment pretty good. So it was actually Dalton came up, and you can see it, watch it back if you like. But Dalton came up and kind of he got help. He came up into and then man, y'all both went for a ride. It looked like y'all were trying to audition for NASA or something. It was actually the craziest thing ever. And then there was three other guys that just came just barreling through there, and I don't know whether they tried to check up and just couldn't get on the binders quick enough or what, but. I mean, man, oh man. So you had a tow, so you're going to be sitting there for a minute.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep, we'll be fine. I had a good car. I like the track. Setup is really good. Everybody's been racing each other pretty clean here. It was a really good race still there, but apparently we got 3 wide, and it's just one of those things.
right on, buddy. Yep, 3 wide's never going to work, especially at Iowa. That's Joshua Sexton, driver number 51, is going to try to get that machine fixed up and get back out there. Good luck to you, Josh.
Thank
Now I want to pull up one more driver real quick to have a quick word with them. It's Mr. Derek Paulson, driver of the supposed to be number 6 machine. I think he's number 12 here tonight. Derek, you got a copy?
No, I got you. You got me?
I got you loud and clear, boss. So, Derek, we saw you run up front for a huge portion of this race, up until that first or second caution, I do believe. And then y'all elected to actually go pit. And it doesn't seem like the pace has been there for none of the guys that pitted with y'all to actually get back up to the front. Is that more of everybody's just that fast, or is it hard to pass right now? How's it feeling to you out there?
It's hard to pass right now. That, and then I wasn't really overdriving it, but it is getting difficult to pass out here. It's tough.
Derek, now I helped build this setup, so I want to know, and hopefully nobody's listening. If you don't want to tell me, you don't have to. But since you just pitted, what were your tires on?
I burned off my right rears, believe it or not. So I'm at 81 on the front, 63 in the back.
Okay, man, I was really hoping it would be a little bit closer to even, so I do apologize for that. But that's Derek Polson. He's driving the number 12 machine tonight. He's a newcomer out here in Crooked Line Racing. We're glad to have you, Derek, and maybe we'll be talking to you at the end, buddy. Keep that nose clean.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see what goes on. Thank you.
Yes, sir, buddy. Good luck. So you heard it right then. Josh, you heard kind of two different ends of the spectrum right then. Josh was kind of saving his equipment. Derek, he came out and just said, I burnt my right rear off. My right rear was 66%. Right front was 81%. That means he's really, really fighting that car in the corners. It is just not yeah, Kelly, you are exactly right. Not a lucky night for that number 7. I'm telling you, Kelly, he needs to go to 777s. As green flag getting ready to fly here at Iowa one more time. As we see Zach Murphy, he don't wait. He gets a great jump right then. Leaves that 3 car in the dust. I see a blue car back there really trying to make some moves. But that 3 car, he didn't get a very good jump, but he was able to battle second place. And don't look now, but Ken Ziem says, here, hold my beer. Well, we don't promote drinking and driving over here. Ken Ziem says, hold my chocolate milk, and drives it in there deep. Man, oh man, and Aiden Young is trying to get there as well. We may have to have a word with Aiden Young and Ken Ziem if we do have another caution on the speedway, because man, oh man, they just discovered some type of insane speed right then coming off turn 1s and 2. So right now, it's Ken Ziem's all out front in that number 90 machine. He is up 10 spots. Then you got Zach Murphy. He's up 12 spots. He started 14th. He's currently 2nd. Aiden Young, he's sitting P3, pretty in 3 right now. He started 7th, up 4 spots. And then Jason Stewart in that black and yellow number 3 machine. He is up 3 spots, or 6 spots, excuse me. He started P10. And then our biggest mover of the night, Scotty Stevens in the 2 machine. It's 0-2 on the side of his car, 2 in iRacing. He needs to get it together, but he has everything together as far as being on the track, because he is currently up 20 spots right now as they run. And then a driver we actually just had the pleasure of speaking with, Derek Paulson. He's made his way up to 6th, but I see some really big battles going on back here It looked like these drivers were getting ready to go 3 wide. They thought better of it. Very good decision after what we just saw. I'm still very surprised at all the fast guys that ran up there and led some laps, battled for the lead. Ever since they made that first pit stop for fuel, they have not been able to get their spots back. As we see Jason Raymond here looking underneath Keith Mack. Keith Mack basically just let him by, live to fight another day. Okay, you see James Barrett, he was actually involved in that last crash. So a lot of drivers that were involved in that last crash or the crashes before that. There hadn't been many tonight, there has been some. If they had to use that fast repair, that's their one mulligan. That's their one get out of jail free card. If you're one of them drivers that does not have that to fall back on anymore, you got to be really careful right now, especially being in a pack like this, what we see behind. All it takes is one car up towards the front of this cluster of cars right here to make one small mistake, and it can be tragic for a lot of cars out there. As you see right then, slight contact between Ed Brown and Willie Everingham. Willie's not going to like that, I don't think. Nothing intentional from Ed Brown. Maybe Spotter said he was clear or something. As more contact between other drivers, they're really starting to beat and bang now as we're coming to lap 86. And Joshua Sexton has got that machine fixed. He is currently shown a few laps down at least. Dalton Kilrow as well. Going to try to battle to get their laps back. Let's pull this ticker up on the side and see how many laps they're down. So Dalton Kilrow is actually shown as 2 laps down. Joshua Sexton's 3 laps down. Ray Fataruso is 3 laps down. So as it stands right now, as long as no other driver goes a lap down, Dalton Kilrow will get the lucky dog if the caution is to fall. It's still all Zach Murphy out front after we saw Ken Zeems. We actually missed the pass for the lead. Ken Zeems he muscled his way on the restart and took the lead away from Zach Murphy. But when we went through the pack, it looked like Zach Murphy strong held it back from Ken Zeems. And Ken Zeems must have had a slight bobble or something, because he went from 1st to 4th in about a hiccup. And now we got Aiden Young trying to hound that number 2 car of Zach Murphy right now. And then you got the 3 car of Jason Stewart right behind him. Going to try to force a mistake out of that 69 machine. Man, oh man. As we're going to go back and look to the back of this number 2 machine of Zach Murphy. You see he's looking at Aiden Young right there, the front of Aiden Young's machine. And then not too far off is Jason Stewart. As actually Zach Murphy had a blink right there, that driver blinked. Now we're riding on board with Aiden Young, looking back at Jason Stewart right here. And you see, Jason Stewart's going to try to look to the inside of this driver. He might be able to make it pass. We heard Joshua Sexton say the high side is where you want to be to make passes. So let's see if Jason Stewart's going to be able to drive it off in there deep and get the spot. That high side just gets the momentum on exit. Not to be that time around. Aiden Young, a big advantage now over Jason Stewart. He is sitting comfortable right now, going to try to set his eyes on Zach Murphy. See if he can knock that number 2 off the top dog spot. Zach Murphy's a veteran. He's set on kill at all times. He goes 110%. Whether it's lap 192 like it is right now or 151. Zach Murphy's going to be going hard. So for Aiden Young to get up there, he's going to really work over that 2 car and try to force a mistake out of Zach. And those mistakes come few and far between. As we talked about a while ago, Derek Paulson got up there and led some laps. He led the group down pit road, the group of front runners in the beginning of this race. They elected to pit. And now you see right there, Derek, he's worked his way up to 4th. And caution is out on the speedway. Caution is out on the speedway. Let's see. Ooh. Let's see what we have here. And you see the 24 starts to go around. and then the 10 nowhere to go. But the big storyline of that right there is, as we're going to watch it one more time, so Dalton Kilroe was in the lucky dog spot. He was supposed to get it. But if iRacing deemed their contact right here, which there should have been contact right there, especially with the second hit, and there may have been contact with Joshua Sexton as well. Let's see. If Joshua Sexton got contact, he won't get the lucky dog either. Joshua Sexton got contact as well, so it might be Fataruso getting the lucky dog here. We'll have to wait and see. What we'll do, we'll hide the ticker right now. We'll bring this up and see who's going to get the lucky dog. Will it be Curtis? Won't get it because he was only 10 laps down. I mean, he was only in the wreck right then. Derek Paulson stayed out on the track. He did not pit. Got Michael Falk sitting up P3 right now. Willie Evernham P4. He didn't pit. I want to pull up Aiden Young if he is in. He is in Discord. So we're going to. I know he's doing pit stops and everything right now, but I still want to have a word with him. Aiden Young, this is Tanner Martin, Blue Ticket Copy.
I got you.
Aiden, man, I watched on that last restart. It didn't look like you nor Ken got a great restart, but then I was just eating my words because by the exit of turn 2, y'all were both shot out of a rocket and was able to actually hound Zach and get by him for a little bit. Have you learned something on the restarts here tonight that's going to help you as this race progresses?
Yeah, I think it's just about being patient and just picking where you can go on the restarts because when them tires cool down, it's just like a heat cycle in a real car.
Yeah, I mean, you are exactly right. And now, Aiden, I will say I was watching that last wreck, so I did not get to watch pit road there. Has people started taking tires yet or not?
I took tires because I feel like older tires are better right now.
Oh, so when did you take tires? Just right now?
I took them right now.
All right, 10-4. So we know that machine of Aiden Young, number 69 machine, is going to be a rocket ship now. He's on fresh rubber. So Aiden will be calling the action. Good luck to you, buddy. Maybe we'll be talking to you here at the end.
Hopefully.
Right on, buddy. That's Aiden Young. He's actually a firefighter. So, I mean, anybody that can volunteer to do that type of work is a good guy in my book. He goes out of his way to save lives, and to me, if that's not just the ultimate sign of somebody's character, I don't know what it is. So, Aiden Young, for your services to the public, I salute you, brother. Thank you. Let's see. OSR Network's very own Joe says using ATVO and SDK, man. So the ATVO, Joe, I'm not exactly sure what that is, brother. But I am using SDK. But I had a guy make me a new SDK with all this little fancy stuff on it. And everything's moved around on me, changed around on me. So I'm still trying to learn the SDK program. But the ATVO, I'm not sure what that is, Joe. So I don't think I am using it. All right, folks. It's getting to the nitty gritty. As we're on lap number 97, coming to lap number 98. Let's see if the lights are off on the pace truck. If the lights go off, we're going to be back green flag racing for the Team 151 Iowa season opener. It's season number 4. Time flies by when you're having fun, they say, and man, I guess we've been having a blast because these first 3 seasons have went by in a blink. And now it's time. We're about to be back green flag racing. Joe, if you're going to sit here and watch the race, you might as well come and call the race with me. You sitting here watching it anyways. I mean, we'd be like old times. We got the chemistry already. It's getting ready to be a nail biter. It's getting ready to get serious here. You got the field in control of Derek Paulson. And then you got Brandon Bond going to be starting to the inside row number 1. But Derek is the control car. Let's see what kind of jump either guy's going to get on this restart. As you see, advantage, a big advantage goes to Derek. He's going to pull Willie Evernham actually with him. Are those drivers, Willie and Brandon, going to be side by side? They are going to be side by side going into turn 1 and 2, but advantage goes to Willie from the high side. Michael Falk, like I've said, folks, he's not even done 5 races. He's currently sitting P4, going to try to will that machine to the best finish he possibly can get right now. He's looking pretty in that 81 and looking silky smooth. Gets a little bit loose right then, but able to keep all 4 wheels going. Oh, Joe says he's playing games on his phone. I will do, Joe. He's actually he's really good at making that kind of stuff. Look, I'll actually type it out to you in the chat right now, and I'll have him contact you. And he just did mine for free, so I think he just does it because he enjoys doing them. But right now, a huge advantage to Derek Paulson right now. The biggest advantage we've seen thus far tonight. It's only a half a second lead, but we haven't seen a leader jump out of the frame or have second place out of the camera shot all night like we saw right then. He's opened up a nice gap to second place Willie Evernham. Then we got Brandon Bones sitting right there behind him, sitting P3. Ed Brown is currently sitting P4 with Michael Falk. That's MF Racing Design's very own Michael Falk, number 81, sitting P5. And Scotty Stevens and Jason Stewart, they're trying to sort it out for P5. Scotty has the advantage right now on the high side. Is he going to have the momentum needed to clear that number 3? It looks like the 3's actually edging ahead of Scotty right now. Advantage to the 3 going into 3 and 4. Keep an eye on that number 69 of Aiden Young. We know he is on fresh rubber right now. He's going to try to make the most of them tires. As we're now on lap 104, coming to lap 105 this time around. As see, Thomas Axel's going to go 3 wide right then. It's going to get tight there, folks. You got to be careful with that. Thomas thinks better of it. Tries to do a crossover move to the high side. He's waiting for the 90 of Ken Zeems and the 2 of Zach Murphy to sort it out. Thomas Axel thought better of it right then. Forced it 3 wide, but backed out of it really quick. Probably a smart choice to make on lap 105. And Ken Zeems makes contact with Aiden Young. Gets shoved up the track. Good recovery by that driver number 90, Ken Zeems. But, you know that driver is not happy right now. As Michael Falk is falling back right now in some old rubber, but he is doing a mighty fine job, I will say. Only 5 races on the sim to be competing with the likes of Zach Murphy, Thomas Axel, Aiden Young, Ed Brown, Jason Stewart, to be out here running with these guys and being competitive with these guys. Ooh, contact between them. Both drivers keep it going, but to be as competitive as he is right now, that is awesome to see. As man, oh man, these drivers must have got the message that it is go time here tonight, folks. 107 laps completed. 108 now as we're going to lap 151 for, I'm going to mention again, for the Team 151 Iowa season opener, season number 4. We're glad to have you tuning in on the 5 Kings Network. And caution is out on the speedway. Caution is out. Let's go see. It's telling me Jason Raymond. It's one of the young guns from earlier. Oh, him and Frank Barr. Frank just kind of shoves him up into the wall. And Jason, he gets into the wall a little bit. Now, typically at short tracks, some damage to the rear end would not be too bad. But at a track like this that's so draft heavy, it could be bad. But for right now, folks, I think it's only right that we pull up Mr. MF Racing Design's very own Michael Falk. Michael, I don't want to distract you too much, but do you have a copy?
I got you.
I can't lie. I'm supposed to be completely unbiased in the booth, but I've told him on the stream and the broadcast, you've done maybe a total of 5 full races since you've had iRacing. To see you battling with these guys the way you are, it's awesome. So talk me through it. How has the race felt thus far to you?
It's been pretty good. I messed up the first pit stop. I I had my tires checked and didn't want them to be. So, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's been a lot of fun. Like just trying to stay alive, really.
Well,
Just kind of ended up here.
I saw you and Zach Murphy make slight contact right then, but you did a remarkable job. A lot of people, they make contact like that and they freak out, and you didn't do that. You just held it steady Eddie, And man, I'm seriously, I'm not just blowing smoke up you. I'm really impressed with you tonight and hope you have you come out every Tuesday night you can make it, brother.
Oh, I'll be here, man, for sure. Been painting these things for a year and a half. I thought I better get out here and try them, see them up close.
Right. Now look, I'm not into the rock music and stuff like that. Lights are still on the pace car. Let's get in on your car. Give me just 1 second. Now, this 81 machine, talk me through it. What is this paint scheme that we got going on here?
It's just based on a band called Lorna Shore, just super heavy band. And went and saw them last week. They were awesome. So I thought, make a car for them. Make a car about them, I guess.
Right. That's awesome, man. And it's I'm trying to get a side view of it so we can see it kind of.
To hear the craziest, heaviest song in history, listen to their song "To the Hellfire."
To the Hellfire, and what's their name again?
Yes, sir. The band's called Lorna Shore. Yep.
Lorna Shore.
Yep.
All right, 10-4, and it's To the Hellfire.
Yes, sir.
We might play it on stream. Let them hear it one time.
Oh boy.
That's Michael Falk, folks. That's the man, the myth, the legend behind MF Racing Design. I promise you, if you want something wild, he's your man. If you want something unique, he's your man. But if you want something that's just mean and aggressive, MF Racing Design is your go-to guy. Michael, thank you for all you've done for Five Kings, and thank you for coming out here racing tonight. Good luck to you, buddy.
Oh, thanks, man.
Absolutely. That's Michael Falk right there, driver number 81, Lorna Shore Machine. I'm sure I'm butchering that name, and I do apologize if I am. As lights are still on the pace truck. Let's see if they're about to go off or not. I can't tell what corner they're in. They're in corner 2. You know what? We're going to pull up Jason. Let's see. We're going to pull up Alex Coffee. Have a word with Mr. Coffee real quick. Alex, this is Tanner Martin Booth. Got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Alex, we've been watching the race thus far. You had a little bit of rough going there for a little bit. How are you holding up right now, brother?
I have been in the pits for the past 15 minutes.
That's what I thought. But just wanted clarity.
Yep. 3-time victim tonight.
Yep. So I saw the first 2. Well, I saw all 3 of them, but I saw the first 2 happen live. So I know Kelly did too. Kelly said that number 7's just not lucky tonight for you.
Yep, it happens. We'll be there for next week, and hopefully luck will be on our side of the one.
So I'm trying to figure out right now exactly where we're going next week. It's pretty bad. I'm a serious promoter and broadcaster and don't know. Oh, we're going to Lucas Oil next week, Alex. So with you in the pits, I can hold you for a minute. How you think Lucas Oil is going to shake out?
I've never actually tried that track with these cars, but I felt pretty decent in the super late models there, so I have a pretty decent shot at it. Just got to be consistent.
That's funny you say that because we've never tried them there either. We just knew that the super late model race was decent, so we decided to try it. But Alex, tough break for you tonight, buddy. Who do you got to thank for that number 7? Since I think your race is basically done for the night, ain't it?
Oh yeah, thank my mom for tuning in. Thank John Curtis, and we're actually in the chat with Mr. Barrett right now. So yeah, we're helping him. I'm helping him now since I'm out. So thanks to them, they were trying to help me during the race, spotting cautions, but it was more right around me. So it happens.
Yeah, you know what they say. One day you're the bug, next day you're the windshield, buddy. I know you're plenty competitive enough. You'll bounce back from this one bad race. As caution is out on the speedway. Thank you, Alex, for your time, and maybe we'll chat with you again shortly here in a minute.
10-4.
Thank you, buddy. That was Kelly Coffey's baby boy, Alex Coffey, number 7. Had a rough night here tonight, but we all know he will have a bounce back. And I do apologize for talking through that right there, but just wanted to have a word with him. And, man, I think we've seen some heavy contenders crash out right here. Let's see what happens. Oh, Scotty gets into the back of Ed Brown, and just people are going everywhere. Oh, we just talked to Michael Falk too, and there's people crashing everywhere. Ed Brown's around. Jason Stewart's around. I think Thomas Axum even went around. As you see, the 2 car just, oh man. So Thomas kept it rolling straight, I do believe, but there was not that much luck for the likes of Michael Falk and them. As we go back one more time, check out the hit Michael takes right here. Boom, just sends him around. And who is that? Somebody just went flying right then. I'm not sure who that was. Who was that went flying? I apologize, folks. We're going to watch it one more time to see who went flying here. I can't tell who that is. Whoever it was, they went for a wild ride. A very wild ride. As we're live once again, folks, on lap 116, coming to 117 this time around. It's been a battle of attrition. The race started out really, really clean. Now it's starting to get just a little bit messy. So now, these are when the drivers need to rein it in a little bit. Try to control their nerves a little. And fight and try to get every point they possibly can to try to battle for the championship at the end of the season. The champion of the Crooked Line Racing Series, any series underneath Crooked Line, if you are the points champion that season, you get a free game or two from thebuttkicker.com. That's a $200 piece of sim equipment. What it is, basically, so in our steering wheels, we have what they call force feedback. It's basically like rumbles in a controller or vibration. So, like, when we hit a bump, we can feel it. Well, with a game or two from the butt kicker, you put it underneath your seat, and it shakes and rattles your seat so you can feel every type of little motion, any type of bump in the road, anything. You can feel it, and it just helps you be more in tune with the car. So, win a points championship in Crooked Line Racing, not only do you get the pride that comes with that and the recognition, but you also get a free game or two, courtesy of thebuttkicker.com. As we're going to go through the lineup right here, as lights are still on the pace truck. We got Derek Paulson outside in the Dr. Squatch machine. He is currently the lead dog on the field. And you got Willie Evernham, that number 19, sitting second. Brendan Bone sitting third. Thomas Axum, he said he was going to take it easy. Almost had a catastrophic event right then. Almost got tangled up in that mess. He's sitting fourth. Scotty Stevens, he's worked his way up 20 spots since when they gridded. He's sitting fifth. Aiden Young is currently sitting sixth. Ken Zeems, he's sitting seventh, with Keith Mack sitting eighth. Jason Raymond, he's had an up and down roller coaster of a night. He's currently sitting ninth, with Michael Falk rounding out the top 10 as they run right now. Then you got the 68 of James Barrett Jr. He is sitting 11th. Zach Murphy sitting 12th. Jason Stewart sitting 13th. Dalton Kilrose sitting 14th. And we actually still have action on pit road. Frank Barbary is going down pit road. As we see, the lights are off on the pace truck. It's going to be an unscheduled stop for Frank Barb. I'm not sure exactly what this driver's electing to do right here. Very, very untimely to make a stop this late in the race. He's going to have to really, really bust it to try to get around, caught up back to the field before this field goes green. With the lights off on the pace truck, it might be looking like we're going single file here, folks. This might just be a single file restart. It is most definitely going to be a single file restart here tonight. Scott Ross said, well, glad I missed that one talking about, and Kelly said that was John Curtis that was flipping. I wish I would have noticed that. I even looked at his name too and just thought he was in a different color car. But man, that was a terrible wreck, and Scott Ross said he's glad he missed that one. I bet. I can see Derek Paulson gets a great jump out front. Got Willie Evernham in tow with the hard charge and Thomas Axum. He took it easy. Time for taking it easy is now done. There's about 30 laps left to go for $30 on the line. Who's going to win it here tonight? We're going to find out in about 30 very, very, very short, intense laps. Got Scotty Stevens in tow with Brandon Bone actually trying to make a move on his inside. Scotty has the advantage going down the backstretch. As another caution is out on the speedway, folks. You heard the whole old cliche, cautions create cautions, and that's what we're seeing right now. Tattletale box is showing me Ray Fataruso has went around. Let's go back and give it a check. Looks like he got down the apron a little bit, and the car just got squirrely on him. That's a very weird crash. If that driver takes tires, I don't know. That was weird. Maybe cold tires right then. I'm not exactly sure. Went down on the apron and just kind of herky-jerky jerked that car around and brought the caution out. May have had a malfunction with his wheel right then. Ray Fataruso is normally really, really fast, and I'm actually seeing Frank Barb. He stayed on pit road for a minute there too, so that driver may actually have damage that we didn't see. He had to get it fixed. And Kelly, you were right. That was John Curtis that was flipping a while ago. I can tell by the way the car looks right there. So Kelly, it looks like I need to just bring you up in the booth. Alex, get your mom Discord. Let her call the races with me. I want to remind you folks, if you're watching at home, please slap that like button on this video. It helps us out so much with the YouTube algorithm. And we're on the road to 100 subscribers. It don't sound like a lot, and quite frankly, it's not a lot. But one thing it is a lot, it means a lot to us. Each and every subscriber we get, every time I get that notification on my phone, I smile. Whether I'm in church, whether I'm in the bathroom, whether I'm taking my kids to daycare, whatnot, whether I'm at work, it don't matter. When I see that notification of a new subscriber, it really, really means the world to me. As I just seen somebody smash that like button, thank you very much. We appreciate that. Like I said, we're on the road to 100. Each and every subscriber, each and every like, it helps us out. It places us in a better algorithm portion. And although 2 likes may not sound like a lot to y'all, that's 2 people that went out of their way to slap that button. And to me, I can't thank you enough. So thank you to the 2 people. We all got to start somewhere. I mean, I'm glad to be here, honestly. I have so much fun calling these races. Now, I'll be honest, I would love to be out there on track, but I just had to broadcast. But we may have something in the works where that number 4 can actually get out there. And I'm seeing John Curtis is actually electing just to stay on pit road right now. Alice Coffey sent me a message that I cannot read out loud, but I will do something real quick that I probably I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna do that. So I'll just be straightforward. There's drivers that think that 33 brought that caution out on purpose. I don't think he did. I thought originally maybe, but I don't think he did because he did not go down and take tires, I don't believe. But it's not for me to make that call. Yes, I am admin in the series, but I'm race broadcaster tonight, so I gotta stay away from that aspect of it. But I don't think he did. I think he just got on the apron right then, got a little loose, got some marbles on his car because it's not showing me that he pit. So yeah, no harm, no foul on that one. Just a little bit of a racing incident. We're getting late into this race right now for the Team 151 Iowa opener. It's been a great race. We started out really, really clean. All these drivers were giving and taking, and as we've seen these laps start to wind down, as the lap count got smaller and smaller and smaller, we've started seeing that aggression has ramped up. Maybe tempers are even ramped up, and these drivers, that give and take aspect that we had earlier in the race is turning to more give or more take than is give. And I mean, that's just kind of what we're seeing right now. You're seeing drivers on these restarts. Me and Joe talked about it all the time last season. Whenever these cars are bunched up double file the way they are, you got to try to get everything you possibly can out of the car and try to get every position you can, because it's a whole lot easier to pass like that than it is to pass when you get all stretched out single file with gaps between all the cars. So I expect this restart right here to be really, really intense. There might be drivers that maybe push it a little bit too hard, but How can you blame him? We're coming to lap 127 when we take the green flag, when that pace truck makes that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. Getting ready to be back to green flag racing. As green flag is out, Derek Paulson gets a great jump, but not as good as he has been getting. Got Scotty Stevens in tow behind him on the outside lane, with Willie Evernham on the inside, trying to take P2 away from Scotty Stevens. It's looking as if advantage goes to Scotty that time around. Scotty's got the advantage. Thomas Axel's going to try to follow him through. Is Thomas going to be able to get the power put down that he needs on the outside? Looks like he's going to have the momentum, but not actually able to clear that driver going into 1 and 2. He's going to have to try it off turn 2 here with Aiden Young right there behind him. So that 13 has a little bit of draft help right now. That 19 is basically left out to dry right now by himself. Has nobody behind him pushing, but man, oh man. Scotty Stevens is really applying the pressure to Derek Paulson out front. Scotty Stevens wants to get a lap led here tonight. Scotty didn't get to race last season. He did race control, so I know he's really excited to be out here. And that corner right then, Derek initiated it perfectly on entry, but Scotty nailed it on exit because a gap was created and Scotty got it right back to it. As I'm starting to see, Thomas Axum has actually almost completed the pass over Willie Evernham. Has completed the pass now. Almost chopped Willie's nose off right then. He may have a little bit. Willie may not be too happy with him right then. Thomas lost a little momentum right then. This is a battle right here, folks. Nobody's giving an inch. Everybody's going to take whatever they can. They're going to try to use that other driver up. Thomas is really trying to pinch that 19 down. That 19 gets a little bit loose. That's going to be the bobble Thomas needs, I do believe. Advantage to the 13 going into 1 and 2 once again. He's actually able to clear that driver now with the 69 of Aiden Young trying to get around the 19. That 19 is in a bad spot right now, getting held down like that, not able to use the whole track to go up towards the wall and exit. And it's just killing his momentum right now off the corner. And we see Aiden Young. He just saw Thomas Axum do it to Willie Evernham. Aiden Young's going to try it this time. Is Aiden able to get there? Aiden has gotten there. Thomas is not cleared, but he might clear himself this time. Aiden's going to drive it up in there deep. Thomas is going to slide up in front of that driver. Aiden didn't look like he lifted right then, though. He was going to stay in it, and I don't blame him right now at this point. We're going to go cockpit cam with Aiden, see how he's trying to battle this 13. He's going to try to get that launch on the high side that he needs. So Thomas has the advantage every time on entry. Look, Thomas kind of gets in front of him a little bit, but then watch. Aiden's going to try to get right back up to him, suck right back up to him. That's that high side advantage. He gets more speed coming off the corner. But he's just got to be careful because if he slips up like that on entry, Thomas is able to slide in front of him. That's what he did. And Aiden actually lifted right then. That's going to be all Thomas needed right then was that one spot of kindness right there from Aiden Young when he lifted. It allowed Thomas to actually clear him completely. And man, oh man, that was a battle right there. Let's go back up front and see what's happening with Derek Paulson. He's a rookie in the Crooked Line Racing Series, but he's not a rookie on iRacing. He's looking very stout right now, sitting P1, almost 3/10 ahead of the second place driver right now, Scotty Stevens. And then, last season's champion, he ended up winning 6 or 7 races. One of the two, I can't remember. It was either 6, it was either 7. It don't matter. We're on a clean slate right now. He's trying to make it 1 for 1. You got Thomas Axum. He qualified on the pole. He's running P3 right now. Is he going to be able to chase them drivers down? It's Aiden Young, Willie Evernham make contact. These drivers are still battling. They've been battling for the last 10 laps, folks. We're 15 to go here at the Iowa Opener presented by Team 151. As Aiden Young finally was able to clear the number 19 of Willie Evernham and got Ed Brown down low. Brown is off the pace. He actually finished 3rd in the points last season. Ed Brown is having trouble here tonight. Must have been involved in an early incident. Was not able to use his fast repair or didn't have another one. And he looks like he's off the pace, but kudos to Mr. Brown for sticking it out, trying to get every point he can. That's what you got to do in these 12, 13 race seasons, because it is a long season and every point matters. As Willie Everingham is going to try the crossover move on Aiden Young, going to get there to the inside. Aiden still has the advantage coming off. Is he going to be able to pull down the backstretch? No, he is not. Well, yes, he is too. It was like that car hit nitrous all of a sudden. As 13 laps to go, going to be 12 to go next time around, or this time around. We're getting really close to that 10 to go presented by BAM Racing Videos, folks. It's getting exciting up here. Derek Paulson out front. Scotty Stevens P2 with Thomas Axum holding up that last podium spot with a hard charging. I mean, a real hard charging Aiden Young. He cannot be denied tonight, I don't believe. He's going to try everything he can to get up there, not only to Thomas and Scotty, but he's going to try to get up there to Derek. It's just, is there enough time in the clock? I don't know. 11 laps to go. Getting real close to being 10 to go here, folks. As it is now, very proud to say the BAM Racing Videos, 10 to go. Who's going to come home? This little 10 lap shootout. Who's going to come home? The victor of race number 1, season number 4 is underway. These top 3, you could throw a blanket underneath them right now. Who's going to win this race here tonight, folks? You got Scotty Stevens trying to put that nose underneath that 12 car, Derek Paulson. If these two start to battle, that's going to allow Thomas Axum in that 13 to get up there and try to throw his name into the hat, put his name into the ring, and try to claim victory here tonight. So these two drivers right here got to be mindful of that. The minute they get side by side racing harder, they're a few tenths slower each lap. And here we go. Scotty Stevens is trying to look underneath Derek Paulson. He's going to wash up high into him, give him a bump, and oh man, they're getting ready to be 3 wide. Scotty just drove it in there a little bit too deep. Derek Paulson was able to regain control of that car and keep everything pointed straight, but man, oh man, that could have been a disaster right now. And right now that actually hurt Scotty more than it hurt Derek. Scotty is now battling for his life underneath the 13 of Thomas Axum, and underneath that 69 machine. Is Scotty going to be able to have the power needed to take P3 back away from Aiden Young? As the 60 car does the good morale thing and goes up high, going to let these drivers race it out. Maybe Aiden Young might get picked right here, and that's going to cause an incident. Oh no, Aiden Young is going around. Willie Evernham's involved. Scotty Stevens is involved. Man, oh man, lap cars just determined what happened right there. Nowhere to go really for that lap car, but just, man, oh man, tough breaks for riding along with Aiden Young here. It was James Barrett right then. Just, he kind of got caught out there. He did nothing wrong. He was doing the best he could to stay out of the way, but the leaders were just coming up so fast. Not a whole lot of give and take being shown right here, and Aiden tried to come down to clear that driver. Scotty wasn't going to let it happen, and ultimately both drivers paid the biggest price right then. Tough break for both them drivers. But for both of them, the caution did come out really, really fast. They didn't lose, but only... So Scotty lost 1 spot. Aiden had a little bit rougher end of the stick. He went from running 3rd, 4th to actually running 10th. So, and I think he may have took the hardest contact into the wall too. Very, very tough break. And another driver that did not, I repeat, did not want to see that caution is Derek Paulson in that number 12 machine. Because once you get re-racked, and he's going to be re-racked with one of the best on iRacing. Thomas Axum has almost an 8,000 I rating. That's because that guy goes out there and he wins a lot. So with Thomas Axum starting, I would say on the inside, because we've saw Derek elect to take the high side the last few restarts. It's going to make this, what I'm assuming to be a green-white checker, really interesting. Folks, let me know in the comments. Is this the one green-white checker attempt we need, or will there be another one? What do y'all think in the chat? Will this be the only green-white checker attempt we need all night? Or will there be another one needed to crown the victor tonight for the Team 151 Iowa season opener? It's season 4, guys. If season 4 is this intense all season long, Joe, I may need to call you up in the booth, brother, to be honest. Man, oh man, it's been a fun one. Good field size, good group of drivers out here. We've had some cautions, but that's to be expected when you put 30 cars on a short track like this. But man, oh man, tough break for Aiden Young. Had such a good run going. Tried to squeeze down underneath the lap car. Just 2 cars basically fighting for real estate that was no longer available. Tough break. As we see, the 3 laps to go. Are the lights going to go off on the pace truck this time around? I do believe so. And if they do, it's going to be a quick. It's going to be a shootout here, folks. Green, white, checker time. Going to be 2 laps to go when they take the green this time. Or lights stayed on the pace truck. Wow. That's pretty surprising. I thought they would definitely go off right then. So now, if you're Derek Paulson, these caution laps right here, they do one of 2 things. They're either calming your nerves, or they're making them more intense. It's the anticipation, the waiting. Derek Paulson has roped me for almost 4 months now saying he wanted to come out and join this series. Just never could get the timing to line up right. He didn't want to join mid-season, and I understand that. He didn't want to be the cause of anybody having their championship ruined, and I applaud that to that number 12 machine. But Derek, he came out here tonight. Finally, he's sitting up front. He's led a good portion of the race, and now he did go to the back for a little bit. So it hasn't been all rose petals for Derek here tonight. He's had to battle for this race tonight. He's got Thomas Axum, one of the best in the business, starting underneath him right now. Green, white checker. And who's to think? I mean, you can't count out Scotty Stevens, depending on what his car is like. You can't count out Willie Evernham, Jason Stewart, Jason Raymond. I mean, a true betting man, I don't think, could make a bet and say this is the last green, white checker and do so wholeheartedly. Because there is still a lot that can happen in this green, white checker attempt number 1. They're going to get 3 attempts. All these guys want to do up front, they want to get around and see that white flag, because in the words of my good buddy Joe White from OSR Network booth, they can line them up and they can die out there on track. It ain't going to matter. That flagman ain't going to wave that yellow flag. Derek Paulson gets a great jump. That may be the advantage he needs right now to bring home the race win. We're 2 laps to go here tonight for the season opener, brought to you by Team 151. Derek Paulson has a great advantage right now, almost 4/10 of a lead over second place. Thomas Axum, looking a little bit further back in the pack, they are racing hard right now for 3rd place. Who's going to pull off the 3rd place victory? You got Scotty Stevens on the outside, Willie Evernham on the inside. White flag is out that time around. This is going to be it, folks, in the words of Joe White. They can wreck out here, they can all pile them up and die, but there's going to still be a winner. And right now, it's looking like Derek Paulson as he breaks it down low to break the draft. Derek Paulson waited 4 months to join this series, finally got in this series, and it looks like he is. He just clicked his ticket right then to the race win. You got Derek Paulson, P1, Thomas Axum, P2, Willie Evernham brought it home P3 with a great run, great rebound race for him. Scotty Stevens also a great rebound race, brought it home P4 with Jason Raymond rounding out your top 5 finishers here tonight. Derek Paulson, been wanting to run this series for a while now. Got in it when the getting was good. Got him a race win here tonight. Derek Paulson, number 12. This winning moment is brought to you by BAM Racing Videos. Mr. Paulson, do us the honors. Burn it down, kind sir. Now, I will go ahead and let you know, these tour mods, the way they're geared, they only have 2 gears, and the gearing is very, very low. Really hard to do a burnout in these cars. So you're seeing Derek's is going to take it to the grass. He said, "Screw it, we'll get it spinning this way." There you go. This winning moment right here, folks. Like I said, Bam Racing Videos. If you like sim racing, we got you. We got you covered here on Five Kings Network. If you like real life grassroots short track racing, look up Bam Racing Videos. That's BAM Racing Videos on YouTube. He's got about 5,000 subscribers, on the road to 6,000 now. Bam Racing Videos. We thank y'all for sponsoring this winning moment in this whole entire series. Brandon Mettler, thank you, my sir. Hats off right there to race winner tonight, Derek Paulson. But it's time to talk with the man celebrating finishing third. He has a reason to be happy because he had what they definitely would call a bounce back race. Man, that last caution I thought was going to really hurt his chances, but it didn't. Willie Abraham, this is Tanner Marr in the booth. You got a copy.
Yes, sir, I do.
So, Willie, very what we'll call an up and down roller coaster of a race. And somehow, some way, you kept all eyes forward and had a great restart, that last restart. I mean, talk me through your race there.
Yeah, man, it was definitely up and down. I had no idea. We got a little damage there in that last caution, but I had no idea what the car was going to do. But man, what a fun race! It was fun racing with Zach Murphy at the beginning there, and then Derek there, and then I got kind of shuffled back, so I had no idea what was going to happen. And man, it's just cool to get my first podium here in Crooked Line.
Oh, this is your first podium ever?
Yeah, right, racing with you guys. Yeah.
Really? I never would have thought that. Wow.
No, yeah, I mean, last year was all consistency, and hopefully we'll finish third last year in the points. So hopefully we'll move a couple spots up this year and keep it rolling.
Well, you know, Willie, the best way to get that started. I mean, yes, you could have won, but the best way to get it started is to be consistent like you are and to have. I mean, there was points in this race where a lot of people may have packed it up and put it on the trailer, and you didn't. You stuck around, and we see why you stuck around. You had good speed right there, and you brought it home P3. You got any sponsors or shout you want to thank for that? Taking that podium spot finally in Crooked Line Racing.
Yeah, man. Desired Image, Body and Collision, work for them. They're cool. My boss came on and said we could run some sponsorship for them. Joka Graphics, we got NOS Energy Drink, Bush Light, beer. Want to thank Five Kings Motorsports. It's you guys kind of brought me on end of last year, so it's been cool racing with you guys and learning from you. Appreciate you guys putting these races on, man. It's been fun, and glad we finally got that first podium. So now it's time to go for that first win.
Right on, Willie. And I will say, so as being the owner of Five Kings Motorsports, we haven't been as welcoming as we should, but we're getting into it now. We're getting back to racing, and before you know it, you're going to be just one of us, like you should have been all along. That's Willie Abraham, driver number 19 here tonight. Sometimes
yeah,
it's in
switch
the
the number on you.
Yep. You switched me up. You switched it up right then. But yep, that's Willie Abraham. Brought it home P3 tonight with a very, very solid bounce back race. Congratulations, Willie.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir, buddy. And then now it was time for Mr. P2. He came up just one spot short. I think if another caution would have fell or just add 3 more laps on the board, I think this driver was too hungry to be denied. It's driver number 13, Thomas Axum. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
So Thomas, I know you're like me. Like if you don't win whenever you feel like you should win, you're not happy about it, and that's what we like. I mean, we want people to come out here and they have the passion, they want to win. You had the fastest lap of the race at one point. I don't know if it stands, but I think it did stand. And you looked like the fastest car for a long time. And I mean, that was even after you held back and put yourself back in traffic a little bit. So, looking back on it now, do you wish you would have approached it different, or how do you feel about it? Talk me through your race.
No, I feel like I did everything well. Just had some bad luck, a couple of incidents. Just unfortunate, wrong place, wrong time, and happened twice in a row to me. Just a couple setbacks. Feel like I was just 2 steps forward, 1 step back all night. Put myself back there. Was just trying to save tires, let them burn it up. And then when I was waiting for that competition caution, and then as soon as that competition caution came out, put fuel in it, and then just keep saving. And feel like I took tires at the right time, and everything was right. And like you said, if there was one more yellow, I feel like I would have had a good chance. But um, can't take it away from him. He smoked me on that final restart. I had nothing for him. Maybe one more lap would have been different, but
Right.
he did everything right. Everything I would have done as a leader. Um, Iowa, I knew was going to be a struggle. Iowa and Milwaukee will be my struggle. The first thing I did was check out the schedule and see Lucas Oil's next week. So that'll be another racy track. That'll be fun. I haven't driven there in a while. So can't be mad about a P2. Just see what you can do next week and to get that plus one more.
Right on. That's Thomas Axum, driver number 13. But yeah, speaking about the schedule, he said we'll go to Lucas Oil. This is a little bit of a weird season here, Thomas. We kind of by the time we make it to season 4, man, we've been to so many other tracks that we just started basically throwing darts at a board, see what they land on, you know? So it's going to be interesting here. And that's last season's champion. Came up one spot short here tonight. Finished second place on the podium. Thomas Axum, you got any sponsors or shots you want to thank for that number 13 machine?
A shout out to you for putting your time out and behind the scenes work, putting this all on. Love racing. Love seeing some new names out there tonight, even a new winner. Um, so good win to Derek. Can't wait to be battling him all season. He definitely had some speed up front. Would love to hear what his strategy was. I'll go back and watch the broadcast. Shout out to my sponsors, Studio 10 Designs, RKM, and Bernier's Liquors.
Right on, buddy. Right on. I've heard them so much, Thomas, that I can recite them for you now, buddy. So,
Thank you, sir.
that's never a bad thing, brother, right there. And so that's Thomas Axum. Last year's champion, came up one spot short, but he will be a contender all season long. Congratulations, Thomas.
Thank you, sir. Good win, Derek.
Well, he slid in on you left right there. I thought you were going to have a little bit of a conversation. He's like, good win, Derek. Bye. But yeah, so it's Derek Paulson. He said for about 3 months now he wanted to get into this series. Like I said earlier, timing just never added up, never lined up correctly. The timing was perfect tonight, especially on that last restart. Derek Paulson, when that last caution came out, was you on pins and needles, or did you kind of have it planned out how you thought that might shake out?
I knew if I got a good restart on him, I had enough speed yet in the car to keep him behind me. I took my tires a little bit earlier. I think I took them at lap 74. That caution 73, 74.
Yep.
And then I was able to make it on fuel then too. So my goal was just it's so hard to pass here. So I had a good opportunity to get my stuff and get up front. And even with old tires, you could still go pretty quick there. And it panned out. And I was debating if I should start on the low line or the high line, but tonight restarts for me on the top side were the way to go, and it panned out for me.
Speaking about that, Derek, there was a time earlier in the race you took the high side, and I mean, quite frankly, you were about the only driver that could fire off on the high side and not have a real battle going into turn 1. We saw Dalton do it earlier, and you took the spot away from him. You took the lead spot. Thomas tried it, and he was having to battle Willie. So, I mean, somehow, some way, you were making it sticking on the outside. And when that last restart happened, I was like, a huge advantage to Derek, and that might be all he needs because this track is such a momentum track. And you played your hands right. I mean, just perfectly tonight, Derek. And it showed. You brought it home P1 in your very first start in the Crooked Line Racing Series. Let me hear some sponsors you got for that machine.
Well, first off, I got to thank Five Kings Motorsports. That is the reason why my motor was rolling up there tonight. So, so you give them a shout out. I got to thank them for inviting me too. Got to thank you for allowing me to come in here and race. I've been watching you guys for quite a while now, and it didn't line up with my schedule, and now here in the fall it works a little bit better. So I'm looking forward to racing with everyone out here, and got to thank you guys, you admins. Got to thank you up in the booth. Got to thank Vikings. We had a crew in the chat tonight.
A big crew.
Are in the speaker there with me. I got to thank all of them. It was really fun. First time I got to hang with a bunch of them tonight, so I enjoyed that. I got to thank MF Racing Designs. I'm running at old paint. I don't think I've driven this car a whole lot, so I got to get Michael to get me a paint. And I think that's about it. Well, I got to thank Butt Kicker and
You're
but
good.
I can't. I'm new here. I can't remember all the sponsors.
You're good. We'll take care of it. That's Derek Paulson right there. Driver number 12. He's supposed to be number 6. We will have that sorted out. I can't tell you how many times I called you number 6 in the beginning, but we'll get it suited and booted. But P1 tonight, brother. Congratulations on the victory, and I'm sorry to inform you, Lucas Oil, next week you will be starting in the back. Hey, what's your thoughts about that?
Oh, like I said, I'm new, so I didn't know
Right.
we went from first to last.
Yeah.
Patience. I'm just gonna have to do a little bit of patience. I did get into Brian Kramer there earlier, and I apologize for that. Didn't mean to do that. I think I probably pushed up into him a little bit, and then something else must have happened to him because he ended up having to tow and take off. But
Yep.
yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see next week. Lucas Oil starting last. Whew.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be an uphill battle, Derek, but I know you're the man that can be up for the task. I have faith.
Well, thank you.
Yes, sir. That's Derek Paulson. Brought it home P1 here tonight. Derek, congratulations to you. Maybe we'll be talking to you again next week.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir, buddy. Driver number 12, Derek Paulson, brought it home in his first start ever. He went from rookie to being a veteran here tonight in the Crooked Line Racing Series. Very excited to see a newcomer come out and win. It makes me excited whenever we recruit and bring new people in and they're able to come in and beat people like the likes of Thomas Axum and people like that. But without any further ado, let's go to the right results right here and we'll wrap it up for the night. We just talked to all three of them. Derek Paulson, P1. Thomas Axum, P2. Willie Evernham finished at P3. Scotty Stevens, P4 with Jason Raymond, the young gun of Five Kings Motorsports. Brought it home, rounding out the top 5. Ken Zeems finished P6. Jason Stewart was P7. Dalton Kilrow, P8. Brandon Bone, P9 with Keith Mack, rounding out the top 10. Aiden Young, and at number 69, had a very, very, very strong performance going. Ultimately, late in the race, incident was out of his control. Came up on a lap car, tried to make room, and just made room where room wasn't, and paid the ultimate price. So tough break for Aiden Young. He brought it home P11. MF Racing Design's very own Michael Falk brought it home P12. Ed Brown, 13. Joshua Sexton, 14. Frank Barr brought it home P15. James Barnett Jr., P16. Garland Bennett brought it home P17, with Ray Fataruso finishing in 18. Zach Murphy, 19th. John Curtis, 20th. Scott Ross, 21st. Alex Coffey, a very, very tough night for Coffey. So, hate to see that for that number 7 machine. Know he's going to bounce back next week at Lucas Oil. It's a flat style track. I've already seen Coffey likes them flat style tracks. Coffey finished tonight, 22nd place. Brad Kramer brought it home 23rd. Matt Yasin, 24. Tyler Catalano, 25th. Dustin Hicks, 26th, with Dalton Collins finishing 27th. Folks, thank y'all for coming out tonight. It's been a great showing. To start almost 30 cars for season 4. It's only up from here. Thank y'all for coming out. Hope y'all tune in every single week. We'll be here, same place, same time. Five Kings Network, Crooked Line Racing, Team 151 presented tonight. Bam Racing Videos is bringing us the Lucas Oil race. Thank y'all for tuning in. 8 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. Next Tuesday night, we'll be live and in living color. Hope you're here with us. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you, McConey Setup Shops. Thank you, TheButtKicker.com. Raise Energies, BAM Racing Videos, MF Racing Designs, FB Sim Racing Custom Button Box, Building Blocks Childcare. Just a laundry list. Raise Energy. Everybody that makes this team go, thank y'all. Thank you to the viewers. And until next time, we'll see you.